Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 10th episode of the Mosk Pod. We are at our 10th. Like I said, this is quite a milestone for me. So, again, I want to thank you all for this terrific journey we've been on. It's been, again, just an amazing journey. I don't know where I'd be without you all, without my content, without sports, everything. Um, Sports really means a lot to me too, and this is a great time in sports. Great 10th episode timing with all this NBA playoffs. We'll talk about hockey playoffs coming up. MLB is in its second week or third week of the season. So Mets Yankees, who's hot, who's cold, everything like that. We'll stick with that, and we'll just update you on whatever's trending in sports as well. So let's get into it. By the way, I'm by myself. I hope you guys had a terrific Passover and Easter break, as my school is actually back this morning. So I am ready to roll. Had a really good sleep, everything, really good weekend. I was up in New Hampshire with family. I was also in the city for the auto show and the Brooklyn Nets game on Friday. So I had a really good day then. Met some family there too, as my uncle actually works a few blocks away from Barclays Center in Brooklyn. So we met up that way, and it was nice to hang out and all that. So I hope you guys had nice holidays, whatever you celebrate, and I'm ready to get into this, and hopefully you are too. So I am going to start with the basically the team who really had high hopes this season to win a championship, and they really blew it because they didn't even make the play-in tournament, which is the spots before the playoffs. So the play-in tournament, you play games in order to make the playoffs. If you win those games, you make the playoffs, basically. Uh, it goes different through the 7th and 8th seed. First to win that moves to the playoffs. 8th, 9th seed has to win two. If they lose one, they're out, sort of thing. So we'll see how it goes with the playing tournament itself. But it's the Dallas Mavericks with the duo of Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving came obviously in the midseason trade at the trade deadline from the Brooklyn Nets for Finney Smith, Dinwiddie, couple picks. Uh, it worked out for Brooklyn, I would say. Even though Dinwiddie's been, not his best. Finney Smith's been a good addition, but really it was the pieces to build around it for the Brooklyn Nets that had the chemistry sort of come together as a young talent. So with that, it was pretty fun to watch, I would say. More fun to watch than obviously Katie and Kyrie being there is better, more comfortable of, leading your team to victories. But this young squad for the Nets looks like a good one, probably good for the future more. As they play the Sixers in the first round, which we'll get to. I will. I have it all written down here, so I'll get into each, playoff series that way and playing tournament, all that, where everyone stands. But the Dallas Mavericks, man, I feel incredibly bad for them. I don't know if I wanted them to do well because of Kyrie's situation with the Nets and then moving to Dallas. It was kind of weird that Doncic and Irving are the duo paired up. They don't match in my books. So it played out not the way I thought it would, but the way the duo wouldn't work out, stuff like that. And I don't know what Mark Cuban's situation is. I don't know if he'll stay around or not because he's in trouble now for getting all this and everything, just running the team, being the leader of the team here, and having their team fail to make the playing even the playoffs. So Doncic and Kyrie not so good there, or not good at all, 100% not good. And Brooklyn Nets, as of now, won that trade for sure, as they were falling back at the time. of the the playoffs, because they were in the 6th seed like the whole time, basically behind the Knicks and all that. In the second half when they acquired everyone. So Brooklyn held it pretty even all the way. Bridges, man, he stepped up like big time, or else they wouldn't be in the playoffs, like straight in the playoffs without going through the play-in. So good for him, good for them. They got some Brooklyn's got some good pieces. I look forward to playoffs, but Sixers with Embiid, Harris, Maxey, Harden, all those four guys plus their bench, it's probably going to be a sweep. If I'm being honest, as a Brooklyn fan, it's going to be a sweep, and I don't see it any other way because every position the Sixers have the advantage, power, height, whatever it is, just aggressiveness, all that. Plus, they have home advantage, being the 3 seed playing us, the 6 seed, and I don't know. We'll see if they can surprise. Brooklyn can surprise them, but even with one win, I would be surprised and kind of satisfied actually. Going into next season with this young group and picks that they have, I hope they use them to their advantage. But we'll see how they do in that series. But yeah, really for Dallas, it's just so disappointing for them. After making the run last year in the conference finals, the Western Conference Finals, I think Brunson going to the Knicks really completed them, and they did not look good this season at points. It looked like they might make a run at the end, but really they didn't, and the duo did not work out. So even we'll see with where Kyrie goes too. If he goes to the Lakers or something, I could definitely see that happening. Even Doncic situation, I believe that should be your top target if you're Mark Cuban, because he still has the position as of now. And if you go with Irving, I don't think that's the right move because Doncic was your cornerstone piece and your star on the team still, not Kyrie. Kyrie's not your focus. It could be your backup focus, but Doncic is your focus. You gotta keep him because he's a star player. I don't know if they could build around him because he's a one star talent type of thing. His own game, his own style. I really do not see what duo would work out with them. So we'll see how their future goes, but not good at all this season, to say the least. And we got the play-in starting tonight. That involves uh the yeah. So let me see, because I wrote everything down. It's really tough because everything was decided just last night. But here we go. So the Western Conference looks like the Lakers Timberwolves. For me, I think I got the Timberwolves just because of the Lakers hate I have for LeBron and Davis. It has nothing to do with their talent. They're unbelievable players, but the Timberwolves, I don't know now since they have all those problems going on, which I will hit up at the end for sure. The Lakers have pretty much no injuries. They're older team. They have picked it up of late, so I could easily see them being the Timberwolves and moving on, even the playoffs if they win those 2 games. So as the seventh seed, actually no, as the 7th seed, they'll move on if they win. So I believe they can do it, and we'll see. They could probably put a powerful run together in the playoffs if they make it there. And for the other Western Conference series, we have the Thunder versus Pelicans, and I definitely see the Thunder moving on, which might be a surprise, may not. No Zion. They have McCollum and Ingram, but is that really gonna push you over the top. Maybe versus the Thunder, but I see the Thunder really just their young talent. I don't know. They could choke in the playoffs because they're so young and not experienced. But Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the rookie Williams, Giddy, everything like that, I think it will come together. They are very talented as this young team. Again, great future like these other teams, these young talented teams. But the run they made this year was unexpected, pretty incredible. With all that going on. Uh, um, they have no star. It's just Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who you can argue is a star himself. I still see him moving up in his career, so he'll get better as the years go on. But really, for the Eastern Conference, first we have the Hawks and the Heat. I definitely see the Heat moving on the way they've been playing of late. They beat teams like the Sixers. The Sixers were fully healthy, had all their players on court that night, and really the Heat just overmatched them the whole time. And it was that Friday, yeah, because I was at the Nets game when they clinched. That Friday, they took a weird loss to the Wizards. So I'm not sure. They go back and forth, being good teams, losing to bad teams. It's sort of like the Knicks story from a few months ago, but this is the Miami Heat, and they can show up in the playoffs like they have in the past. And for the other matchup, let's see, we have the Bulls and Raptors. Ooh, Bulls at Raptors, actually. I definitely see, and this might be a surprise, the Bulls, you might agree, the Bulls, I see taking that just because, again, the Raptors are so young. They're kind of talented. I do not like the formation of their team. There's no real shooters except for Van Vliet, Trent. But that's not going to get you far. Siakam's good, and Anobi's okay. And, Barnes, I never was really a fan of. Um, so like overrated and all that. I just it's hard to watch his game. It's just not my style. But the Bulls have Levine, DeRozan, Vucevic, the big three there, I guess you can say. Even the bench, um, Caruso, Drummond, all them. Yeah, I mean they can flip the switch and compete with the playoff team if they decide to show up, which they really haven't done all season. But their talent is too good to not go to the playoffs, basically. So, yeah, with that, I look forward to it. Again, it all starts tonight. It's one game, you're out, you're in, or you play another game to fight for a playoff spot. So we will see with that tonight. And I'll definitely be watching that. So definitely stay tuned for more next week on that as we move into the playoffs starting Saturday. It's I know my Nets start at 1 o'clock, so they're the early game. So I guess we all look forward to that. Again, we have to wait till Saturday for the first playoff spot. But for now, let's focus on the play-in position because that's going to be key as we move forward to the playoffs to see if teams build momentum going into playoff series. Like I kind of feel bad for the first and second seeds because then the playing spots who win, they got momentum going into those top seeds. Like Milwaukee as the first seed is waiting for for the second playoff winner, play-in winner. Sorry, Milwaukee is with Antetokounmpo, Middleton, Holiday. That's a big three itself. And the Celtics with Tatum and Brown waiting for that first playoff. I keep saying that play-in victory team. So with that, we'll see how that goes. And then the East, it's Denver, and then the Grizzlies who clinched early. Again, anyone can beat the Grizzlies right now because Morant's really the top player. He carries a team, but he doesn't really carry a team, if you know what I mean. He scores like 50, uh, gets his rebounds, all that. Assists. His game's incredible, but the all around talent, yeah, Bane, he's all right, but really all around that, it's not great. You have Clark out for the season. Brooks is good defender, but not a good player at all. I kind of don't like him because of the Draymond Green back and forth Brooks Draymond Green all season long for the past like 3 seasons. It's been nonsense, and I don't like that stuff. I like to be friendly and all that, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I look forward to these first rounds. Nets versus Sixers, Knicks versus Cleveland. I can highlight you on all that. We got even in the West. I saw Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and the Clippers versus KD, Booker, Aiton, and Paul in the Suns. That should be a really good matchup. 3 versus 6 seed as well. Um, really anyone could take that. I do see the Suns eventually winning the series. Not in 4, maybe in like 6 or something. Take my word for it. Suns in 6. First round. Suns in 6. Take my word for it right now. KD, Paul, Booker, Aiton again. Just incredible 4. You really have no way of beating them in a 7-game series too easily. So they again, I see them probably making a run at the championship, probably facing Denver in the Western Conference Finals, if I'm being honest. Again, bet on that. Denver versus Suns in the finals. Western Conference Finals, obviously not the finals because you have to play East team. How about let's say we got Phoenix versus we'll go with Milwaukee because they're obviously hot. They're first place. They overtook the Celtics. Incredible run. So let's bet on it. We're back to the 2019, I think it was, finals. Bucks versus Suns. Bucks advantage because they have the better record. So Bucks at home. And we'll see how it works out from there. Antetokounmpo versus Durant would be incredible, as we saw a couple of years ago in that 2019 playoffs. I take my don't take my word for it. I think it was 2019. The Brooklyn Nets took the Bucks to 7 games, but lost because of a KD foot on the line type of big shoe situation. If his shoe was smaller, they would have won the game, and they ended up losing in overtime. So that was an incredible series, one for the ages. Maybe the best, one of the best in history for sure. Not, I mean, it was just down to the wire every game, man. It was incredible. We got Nuggets as the 1 seed, Bucks as the other 1 seed, Grizzlies are weighing the 7 seed, and the Celtics are weighing these first play-in win, like I said. So yeah, with NBA, just looking forward to playoffs playing. Again, playing starts tonight, so make sure to watch that. Um, go with your own bets, whatever you want, or go off me, whatever. Let me know what you think, if you got it right after tonight, and we'll go from there. I mean, great stuff in the NBA going on. Look forward to everything. With the Mets, we'll move on to MLB first of all. And with the Mets, they had a got well. I updated you last week because they played the Marlins. They got the series 3-1. Pretty good pitching. Senga was incredible after a struggling first inning, and Scherzer was himself, giving up 2 runs through like 5 or 6 innings, enough to save the team and have them win that opening day game. But the Mets then played Milwaukee, and something clicked in that I knew would happen. They struggle in their offense, only getting like 2 hits per game, maybe. Their offense has not been good of late. I did bet on that kind of with the Marlins series. Even their offense there was not great, and Milwaukee is obviously a better team. From the start of the season, just from the start, based on the start, their pitching's incredible. So that made it harder for the offense, of course. and 2 hits per game is not going to get you anywhere. So they scored. I don't know if they even scored that series, but they lost the first game 10-0, 2 hits, something like that. And Carrasco, it was a disaster, giving up 8 runs through 4, and then the bullpen didn't help either, giving up 2 runs, but a lot of hits, a lot of walks, all that. And then the second game, 9-0, just same idea. Nothing went right. Peterson, I think it was, and it really wasn't good. And then the last game that series, they did score runs on two Alonso home runs, I believe. His third and fourth, or no, second and third of the season. And it pushed them over the top for a 2-run lead late in the game, and then Milwaukee came storming back again with their own 2-run double, I think. And then in the bottom of the ninth, right away, 3-2 count, 0 out, 0 on. Their young guy Garrett Mitchell hit a solo shot, no doubter, and the Mets lost, got swept by the Brewers that way. So very disappointing that way. They did bounce back versus the Marlins. Another great pitching performance by Senga, 2-0 with a 1.70 something ERA. It's quite a start, and saving the Mets, if I'm being honest. Their pitching has not been great. Senga has been the star for sure. And McGill had a very good performance, not allowing a run after some struggles at the beginning, off and on. He's a very good pitcher when he pitches well. Obviously, take the quote there, but with that, you have to get him to foreign games, and he can really pitch well. Magoat, I think we call him. Uh, I don't know if he deserves that nickname, but Magoat is him, and he showed it last game. Not so much the first few starts, but the last game, incredible. 5 innings, a couple strikeouts, 0 ERA, all that. Scherzer pitched well last night versus the Padres. By the way, the Mets won that series 2-1 in their first home series versus the Marlins. But yesterday was versus the Padres, the team that eliminated them last year. Scherzer came through. Very tough Padres lineup. Got even better this season than last season. But Scherzer, we're talking about, allowed 0 runs through 5 innings. A lot of strikeouts too. And, just a top pitching performance for him, lowering his ERA to 3 point something because he had terrible few outings to start the season. His first start was okay, but he gave up 2 runs and all that. Even for him, that's a lot. And definitely a lot versus the Brewers as he gave up 5 runs through 5 innings. Struggled at the start, struggled at the end, but in the middle, he really, poured it on. But it was the Brewers who hit 3 solo home runs back to back to back, which was very disappointing and very disappointing to his end. As when he came to the end of the inning, he had that 5-run ERA added to him. But again, lowered yesterday's start from yesterday's start is 5 scoreless innings down to 4-3 something. So with that, the Mets, continue the series versus the Padres. I think they got McGill, uh, some other starters. I know Senga starts Senga, the 2-0, 1 point whatever ERA. Incredible start. He has that start the first game in Oakland as we go there after the Padres series. We had the West Coast right away, playing Oakland, Dodgers, maybe the Giants. I forget down there. But we have a long West Coast trip before we come back. Usually the case as I try to pair you up with all the West Coast teams in one trip. So with that, I hope the Mets get through that safely, and we'll see them make a run here as they are 6-5. Sorry, after yesterday's win. So not a great start, not a terrible start. Hopefully they can run with it going forward as they have big competition these next few series, even this series versus the Padres, especially. And again, McGill, Senga have to continue to be great. Scherzer, we know, is going to be solid the whole way. Hopefully Verlander comes back. Quintana even in July, maybe. You got Bundy. I don't know when you're going to use him because he hasn't, even been mentioned yet as starting, but he can be a starter. Robertson's been great as a closer. Ivino has been, up and down. Bullpen, Brooks Raley, pretty good addition himself. Just everyone, stepping up, except for Diaz being out for the season. It's, you can't replace them. So they're doing their job for now, and we'll see if they can maintain all this going forward. With, you know, hopefully the couple runs they have in them versus these very solid teams. I want them to compete, build on their offense. Their offense built a little yesterday with all the doubles hit, the two doubles for 4 RBIs, and then the sac fly is how they scored their five. So no home run ball, no anything, which is kind of boring, but the doubles are nice additions to the offense. So hopefully they can keep that going as again we have tough competition throughout this series and the West Coast trip coming up. Not Oakland, but Dodgers and all that. Even the Diamondbacks are tough this season with their young talent. So we'll see how they do this next couple series. Again, we'll update you next week as they perform first as they go to the West Coast this week, and just how they do these next couple series. Um, and hopefully they can build their offense. I would say a team like Oakland, they can build their offense immensely because Oakland's just the worst team in baseball. Sorry to Oakland fans, but I think they kind of know that too. If I'm being honest, Oakland's just really bad. Um, you know, and there's not much else to say about that. Young talent, they make dumb moves, uh, grabbing like these trades, all that. With their pitching, saying goodbye to Manaya, Montas, Irvin, all their top pitchers, and then the departure of, or the trade with Murphy going to Atlanta, all that. Really, they are in rebuild, but I don't know if they're actually trying ever because they always give up top prospects too, and they try to acquire people, but they never perform up to their expectation. So we'll see how the Mets do again. Enough with the Mets, though. I've been talking a lot about that as I am a half Mets fan, half Nets fan. But really, I wanted to hit up on the Yankees really quick. Yankees have had a pretty good start to the season. Nothing spectacular, nothing to cry about or anything because Stanton is keeping up with his home runs, keeping up with the monstrous home runs, I should say. Again, last week he had the second longest of his career in the back of Yankee Stadium. Just insane there for uh, 80 something feet. And yeah, that's just insane. The back of the stadium, like I said. Judge had two home runs the other day. It might have been yesterday actually, and versus the Orioles, and he got third and fourth of the season. Torres has been their best hitter, continues to be. Average is incredible. Just keeps it up, and he'll be fine. I believe in him. Uh, he's been good the last few seasons for Yankees, so I believe in Torres again. He has incredible ceiling. You know, Subtraction of Urshela and those players in the past, Gary Sanchez, have been replaced by good players, but not to their caliber. So, Trevino and Donaldson is what I mean by that. Kind Falefa, we know, is not a great shortstop himself. He can do the job, but he's just not a great shortstop himself, to be honest. After the trade from Minnesota, sending Urshela and Gary Sanchez over to the Twins. Gary Sanchez has since been traded to the Giants. They haven't used him yet. It was minor league deal, but they'll bring him up at some point for sure. Probably to replace Bart, who's injured for now. Their young catcher, the Giants' young catcher. Um, but again, the pitching has been good. Cole's been great. Uh, you hope to get Rodon back. This guy, like I said last week, the Jose guy, Buto, has been pretty good. Young starter there. Uh, Severino, all that. And then Cortez, Nasty Nestor's been pretty good to start the season. It's all the mimic of Garrett Cole trying to be the presenter for Nestor Cortez by, mimicking his pitch sort of. I think Cortez is only himself, so only he can do it best. But Cole did a pretty good impression of him, and really did that whole wind up thing, his swagger he has to it, and then just fired it in, sort of with his crazy wind up. So you know, Cole has his own game to focus on, but it was funny to uh, see that as it happened. Um, as they showed at pregame, the Yankee game the other night. So really, they've been great. They won each series of the season, won 2 of 3 each series, and they're rolling. They lost yesterday. I know, a tough one. They scored 2 in the first, but gave up some runs there too. And really, yesterday was disappointing to say the least. And they look to bounce back from that. Again, not so horrible. They're 6-4, hitting home runs, doing everything on offense. Their pitching is coming around. Hopefully, additions come soon with Rodon again and all that. But really, the team to watch, and it's in the Yankees division, is the Rays themselves. The Tampa Bay Rays are a 10-0 team. Just they've been scoring a lot. Their offense is clicking. Last night they only scored 1, but they got the win 1-0. Pitching is incredible. 7 scoreless innings from basically everyone. The top 3 pitchers I could think of is McClanahan, Glasnow, hopefully he comes back again. Rasmussen's been good. This guy, Jeffrey Springs, very young talent. 7 scoreless innings again. Just incredible numbers. For my power rankings, I just wanted to do a top 5 just to list it off. Um, Actually, the Pirates have been doing well, so I had them at 5 as of a couple days ago. But really, it's been other teams like the Diamondbacks, Brewers. I got the Yankees in the top 5 just because they've been performing to the level they should. Maybe they could step it up a bit, but really, they've been performing to their, their talent level with Judge, Stanton carrying. Other bats coming through with LeMahieu, Torres, like I said, just been probably the best hitter for them overall. Average wise, at bat wise, taking advantage of every opportunity there. But really, it's the Rays who I have at 1. Obviously, 10-0, everything clicking. They're pitching, they're batting. I don't see them losing the game anytime soon. Like, when will they lose the game? Uh, I do think they'll lose one maybe this week, just because they can't keep up the great run they're on. But 10-0 is incredible. If they can go let's say I haven't checked their schedule, but probably they'll have a day off this week, as every team basically does. 16-0 would be insane. It's like the second best record ever. So I think that's right. The Tampa Bay Rays are 10-0 again. Everything clicking. I don't see them losing a game necessarily anytime soon, but probably can't keep it up and will lose one this week. I hope to see. I don't hope to see them lose at all because it's just an incredible run. I want to see this record continue to grow. And really, with the Rays, I could see that happening. Because just because everything's clicking. Now, one factor is they have had an easy schedule, but again, you got to take advantage of all those games, which they've been doing like easily. So with all that, hopefully they can build that off into these tough series coming up. Uh, they might play the Yankees soon, I think, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, the Yankees can give them a fight and maybe win one out of those. So really, with that, we'll watch the Rays, track their history in the books, and really roll from there. As we go into next week with another week of baseball under our hands. And really, teams struggling is like I said, Oakland, all that. There's teams that have picked it up of late, like Philly, but they're still 4-6. Uh, you know, Bohm probably is their highest hitter. They wouldn't say much about that, and you know, in my again, we have a rivalry in my family about Philly and New York sports, so we go at it. Just because half of my family's from that New Jersey, Philly area, and I'm from Connecticut, rooting for Mets and Nets, all the way around. But I kind of like the Yankees. I'm not a fan of them, but I do like the Yankees, and I want to see them have success. So with all that, I hope they make playoffs and do well there. I don't want to see them fail. That's not a good sports, fan at it. I know as a Mets fan, I should hate the Yankees, but really, it's in my DNA, sort of, just to root for all these teams, hope they do well. I'm good like that. I kind of like the sort of same thing with the Knicks. All that. I root for them. I don't want them to fail. Maybe in the playoffs I'll go against them, but you know, I really hope they do well. New York sports is hopping right now with the Rangers, all that. Even Devils in the area, just making the playoffs in the hockey in the NHL league, the Metropolitan League. Um, I did update you on the Islanders. They actually fell short by one game in the standings, so they did not make the playoffs. It's very disappointing because they had their position ready to go. Um, but they could not overtake the Rangers and Devils, just ahead of them actually. It went in that order. So with all that, we look forward to seeing the Devils and Rangers in hockey playoffs. Hopefully the fans are ready to go, rock the house at MSG and in New Jersey. Uh, and with all that, yeah, looking forward to that. And then the NBA playoffs again. Looking forward to Barclays Center rocking games 3 and 4. Hopefully the Nets do well there, and the Knicks MSG is going to be rocking games 3 and 4 versus the Cavs, which is a very good matchup. I didn't hit up on that, and I do want to, as we got Mitchell, Garland, Allen, Mobley, other bench players like that. Their whole team is very good. Levert is good off the bench. You got them going versus Randall, Barrett, Brunson, quickly. Robinson's been playing well, 20 rebounds the other night. They can really compete with anyone. So it's a very good matchup. Two centers, there's two centers on each team going at it. The only difference is the centers on the Knicks can shoot a little better. Um, Not Robinson, but like Barrett and Randall, who act like point guards, but are between point guards and centers. They can shoot a little bit. So yeah, again, I look forward to all that. again, the New York sports rocking their houses, their arenas, their stadiums. Yeah, I no, I try to stick to arenas because it's just hockey and NBA right now. Nothing really else with playoffs going on, and really, I just wanted to update you on really other trending news. We got in my home state of Connecticut. Obviously, UConn won the NCAA tournament, like we hit up on last week, just dominating the tournament. Snogo, Hawkins, Newton, all them. And then they had the parade in Hartford the day I went up to New Hampshire, so I sort of saw a little bit of that parade. It was mobbed though, the streets of Hartford, um, which I passed to get to New Hampshire, obviously. And I could not get in, so I just decided to keep driving. I saw where it took place, though. I actually stayed there for a few conventions myself, so I saw where it was located right next to that hotel that I stayed at. So it was pretty cool that way. Um, but also Quinnipiac in Hamden, Connecticut, about an hour from Iona, where I am right now. Um, they're also in the MAC division with us and always compete in basketball, field hockey, softball, lacrosse, whatever it is, volleyball, all that stuff. It's a pretty nice school itself. I visited a few times in Hamden. They have a few different campuses. Very nice. Themselves, pretty known school in Connecticut. One of the most well known, and really good for their hockey team, which won the championship in the whole hockey league of colleges. The March Madness of hockey. Forget what they call that. The something cold. And really, with that, again, I don't follow hockey that much, but it's incredible with the two Connecticut teams winning in this 1 month of March. Actually, this 1 week. It's been a week, so it's really incredible history making as well. Connecticut's being known for that. I'm finally happy that we're being recognized for something. And always thought we should have a major league sports team, high quality sports team, other than WNBA. You can consider that, but uh, that's been successful of late. But baseball, NBA, something you need to get into Connecticut somehow. Colleges are really good and really good history there, uh, and really good for Connecticut itself this past week. Other news, our women's coach from last year, basketball, I'm getting at. Our women's coach Chambers, Billy Chambers, is headed to Xavier University, very well known university there, top notch school. Chambers is headed there to be the head coach of them and just wish her the best, honestly. Great coach herself, very nice person, great team building, all that stuff this past season. Just great to watch the team, great to watch her work with the team, just gain connections as the season went along. Uh, Longtime member of a head coach here at Iona, and again, just wish her the best. She's been here for a long time, but really appreciated all her work here uh, during her. They made the tournament, won the tournament twice while she was here, so they really performed well this season and really made her well known to go to Xavier. They saw everything possible in her to just get her over there. And we definitely wish her the best again. Well deserved. Congrats, Coach Chambers. And we'll miss you definitely for sure after a great season here at Iona. Islanders, again, I mentioned that before. They just missed the playoffs. Everyone's down to their last or second to last game right now. Rangers lost in double overtime. Really didn't matter because they already clinched a playoff spot. Devils lost too. Didn't matter. Again, they clinched. And just again, this coming next week, NBA and hockey's always lined up, so I know they're both going to be playing in the playoffs as we go into our next episode. They'll be in the middle of the first rounds, and we'll definitely update you on that as it's very important times for both NBA and the NHL itself. Just two quick, hit ups here. Odell Beckham signs with the Ravens after thinking about or meeting with the Jets. Again, they missed out on him. Older players still can get it done. Just represent your team there. Um, he might be washed, but still can perform for the better. So we'll see how he does there. Tristan Thompson signs with the Lakers just for the playoffs. Good signing there. Center can still work hard on the glass there. Really, I don't know if that's what they needed with Davis, and they have Gabriel, stuff like that, still on the roster. So I don't know if Thompson was the way to go, but he did. He can provide some spark for you. So Lakers might have the edge there. Timberwolves fought with Anderson and Gobert. Uh, Gobert gave a punch to Anderson. I heard Anderson wasn't calling him the best stuff, so they got into an argument and then started fighting that way. Really not a great scene there, and terrible for Timberwolves basketball as they move into the play-in with low hopes after that fight. So, and then I think as they enter the locker room, McDaniels punched a wall. Jaden, because they have a Jalen, but Jaden is, and his brother plays for the Sixers now. Actually, in the playoffs, I'll see him versus the Nets. But Jaden punched a wall. He might have fractured his hand, and we'll see his status for the play-in and the playoffs. But Gobert's out for 1 game suspension after doing that small punch, and that fight broke out. Great, again, not a great scene down there in Minnesota. So we'll see what happens going further. And then we believe that Clayton and Jenkins are headed to join Patino with the Johnnies at St. John's. We'll see about that if that comes true. But definitely we'll miss them as they were definitely our top 2 players of the team. Jenkins first year, and then Clayton had 2 years here. Wish them the best going forward. Definitely moving on from Iona, I know that. And yeah, again, just wish the best. Had great connections with them, had great connection with the team, and just think they can do well, possibly make it far in the basketball league. So again, just wishing them the best there. Um, and really just gonna wrap it up there. For our 10th episode, I mean, this was a great time to be a sports fan, and with 2 leagues having playoffs coming up, this this week, and we'll update you next week, obviously. And then MLB continuing the start of the season here. But I just wanted to thank you all again throughout this journey. I've been saying it throughout the last couple weeks, but really, really, really appreciate you all. I love you all. Thank you for your support. Make sure you comment down below what you thought of this episode. Maybe give me some predictions for the playoffs coming up, hockey and NBA, MLB predictions, all that. What you think about our my thoughts here, and we'll make sure to read those and update you next week on what's going on. See the outcomes of everything that we all predicted. And again, we'll be here next week, normal time, 9 a.m. Tuesday morning, and ready to roll again, like today. So, coming off of the holidays. Again, hope you all had a nice Passover, Easter, wherever you guys celebrate. And again, we'll see you next week at 9 a.m. Love you all, and thank you for your support.